back with part 6 of actually useful tech on Temu. Let's dive into it. Okay, so in this haul, I've got 10 actually useful Temu tech items, and as you can see on camera, one of them, like, it shipped just with exactly knowing what it is in the box, so we're gonna start with it. That's one thing that Temu is doing a lot differently, is that they are not putting everything into one package now because they have local shipping. That means none of the stuff has Temu branding anymore, it's just how fast can they get it to you. This right here is a VR gaming mat. So, I'm gonna be reviewing my upgrade from the Quest 2 to Quest 3 pretty soon. And one of the things that I realized that I needed is the ability to know where I'm at whenever I'm playing VR headset. And that's the point of this mat. Oof, it does not smell good. This is actually a pretty good sized mat here. And on all products, I'm gonna show footage of actually using it. Wow, okay. So it's a pretty decent sized mat. It's got these arrows right here at the front. And the point of this is that they have these indentions right here. So as you're playing and you have the headset on, you can feel these with your feet and know where true north is, right? Where you're supposed to be facing. So that's really awesome with this. And it feels like, I will say, it feels like it could get a little slippery from the material. So don't wear socks on this. And maybe sweat would get a little slippery as well. So we're gonna test it out and see how it is. I was hoping it would come with some kind of grip on the bottom. No grip. So I would recommend getting like carpet tape for this. That way you can secure it and make sure it's not gonna slip out from under you. But I got this for like $32. And I thought that's not a bad price to enhance your VR gaming experience, right? And so I think this is pretty cool and I'm excited to check this thing out and show some footage of it because I plan to get into VR gaming quite a bit more. And also be sure to subscribe so you can see whenever I review the Quest 3. Okay, on to the next one. I've got this little package, a big package full of goodies, and then a box here with something that another content creator recommended that we'll dive into. So in this little package, oh, very cool. Okay, so this is something I found that I'm really interested to see how well it actually works. It is a guitar pick. Oh, shoot. It is a 2-in-1 pick and tuner for your guitar. No idea how well this is gonna work, but it's got this little tab here, I guess, to make sure that the batteries connect. It's got this button on the back here, which I thought was to maybe, oh yeah, you can turn it on right there. And so what it is, it's a pick that you can actually play your guitar with, but it also has tuning notes on it. There, I guess you can see I'm talking in A or C or I don't know. Anyways, the point of this is so you can actually play your guitar, but actually like as you're tuning it, you can see what note your strings are playing while you're tuning it. Don't know quite how accurate it is, so we will test it out in just a little bit with my own guitar and see if it's worth anything, but this was such a cool pickup that it was just one of those where I was like, this is a must buy for me. This came in at $9. I think it's a very affordable price. I think it's a really cool gift idea too. So if it's any good. So we'll check on that in a little bit and see if it's worth it. All right, here's how it is before being tuned. It's tuning. So, all right, so let's press it, turn it on. There it is. No. Sounds terrible. I don't think this thing's very good. There's A. Looking for G. It's okay. Not great. This is not a great pick. All right, who's ready to hear Wonderwall? All right, moving on to the big package here. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we've got 10 total items today. I try to make sure it's always 10. This might be the pack of stuff that's the most useful by far. Now, first up, we have something that I thought was really, really neat that I've seen online before and I thought it'd be cool to have, but it's an auto face tracking phone holder. Now, the point of something like this is I don't like to have to dive into apps all the time when I'm recording with my phone for like simple videos or if I'm just out and about and I don't have like a real camera with me. I don't know why I would have this with me in that case, but the point of this is so you don't have to dive into an app while you're trying to set up your phone to record you. So this has a little base that comes on and screws onto the bottom here with a little, what looks like a 3/4 thread mount. Okay, oh, and it actually extends, so you can actually unscrew that, extend it up, perfect. And then you take your phone and you put it on there and it holds your phone like this as you're filming. And I'll get my camera open. What's nice about it though is that like while it's filming, it has its own camera that recognizes you. I'm guessing through AI. I don't know how it does it, but it recognizes you. And so the device's camera is what actually watches you and turns and follows you. So it's not relying on your phone to do that. I thought that was really cool because then you can just turn it on and immediately start using it. It has a power button on the top there. What looks like, I don't know if that's brightness setting or what that is. We'll check it out in a little bit and I'll show some B-roll. And then right here, it has what looks like might be hand motions to turn it one way or the other. And then there's obviously the camera right there. And it looks like it fits, you know, pretty good. I've got the iPhone 15 Pro Max and it fit it pretty well. But this tilts back and forth right here, goes up and down. And this is just a really cool device. I got this for like 20 bucks. And so I think it's a pretty good deal for something that can really help you out as a content creator if you are one or need to film something. And then it also has, or even like a family event, if it's like following you around and filming you, but it's got USB-C for charging right here. So I'm gonna show some footage right now of seeing how well it actually works, because in theory, I think this is a really cool thing, but obviously it could completely suck whenever you actually start using it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments if it looks cool to you or not. Okay, so here you can see it's following me pretty smoothly. I mean, look at that. It's not using my camera's phone at all. It's using the camera on the device. And I will say that like, it's a little laggy. So if I go too fast, okay, it can speed up and catch me a little bit. What if I like juke it? Whoa, okay, not bad. It can actually do a decent job of tracking me. And I walk up close to it and there's where it loses me. Okay, there's where it loses me. Then it gets me back. Then I wonder, can I stop it? Okay, so I use a hand gesture to stop it and then it won't track. Oh, that's cool. How do I get it going again? What's the hand signal? Maybe I just press the button. Okay, now it's tracking me again. Okay, and then I can just say stop and it'll turn red and then it'll stop tracking me, which is really handy. And then I go back into frame. I don't know how to get it to start tracking me again remotely, but either way, this device actually works surprisingly well and it's pretty smooth. Actually, not a bad device. I think it's, you know, kind of worth it if you're a solo content creator like myself. Okay, next up, I've got what is essentially just a tech pouch for travel. And this one looked really cool because it had a ton of reviews, because I only order stuff on Temu that's got a ton of like really positive, or not positive reviews, but like just a ton of reviews. I don't want to buy stuff and take a chance on it. And so this one had a lot of people that liked it. It is kind of a nice gray here, and it's got 2 layers, which I really liked. I was concerned on the capacity of it, but I mean, gosh, look at how many places you have to store stuff. It's got a zippered pouch, 3 mesh pouches, another zippered pouch, 2 more mesh pouches, stretchy bands, and then a whole nother level that has a giant zippered pouch. It even has foam dividers, like, you know, like you would find in like a camera bag, but I would not put a camera in this. The whole thing, you know, is probably, I don't know, 3 inches thick, so it's not gonna carry a ton of stuff, but it's a nice little bag that has a carry handle right there. I think it's nice for your tech. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I thought it was gonna have an output to like run a cable if you have an external battery, but I'm not seeing it. So the reason that I thought this was cool, not only is it tech related, but it's also $5. This is a pretty solid little case for $5. It is soft-sided. It feels well enough with quality. It's not gonna be the most amazing quality coming off of Temu, but honestly, I would be happy to travel with this, so I thought it was pretty cool. By the way, links to every product will be in the description down below. None of them are affiliate links. I do not partner with Temu. I did it once, was not a fun experience, so I won't work directly with them again. However, I will continue to buy these products because you as my viewers tend to like it. So up next, we have a digital spoon scale. Now we'll see how accurate this thing actually is. Oh, and it comes with its own battery, which is nice. It's actually a lot larger than I thought it was gonna be, but this is a scale for the kitchen that actually weighs your ingredients while you're scooping it, which I thought was really handy. Looks like it has like a traditional just 3-volt watch battery. I'm glad it came with it. That's actually really handy. You don't find that with Temu products a lot. Okay, so here as you can see, there's nothing on it, but it shows some weight already, but if I lay this paper on it, it's pretty sensitive. You can see the weight going on and off. So let's zero it out. It's actually a pretty good amount of stuff that you can scoop with it, which is nice. So you press it once to tare and then lay paper on it. And there you go, 1.4 grams is the weight of this instruction manual, and then it goes back down to 0. And then you can see that it has modes for different types of measurements, whether it's grams or ounces or whatever. On-off switch with the tare mode, and then hold. Does that I don't know what hold does, but anyways, I just thought this was a really neat device. I got this for $2.83. So even if it's not the most accurate measuring spoon in the world based on weight, for less than $3, it's a pretty cool gift, you know, I guess for somebody, but I think it's neat. So I'm gonna throw it in my kitchen arsenal and see if it helps us out. Okay, so up next is a better version of something that I've actually had in a Temu video in the past. So what these are cable management little plastic things. And I've used ones that kind of snap close before, but the difference with these is that these are actually magnetic. So you can see the little magnet inside of there. You lay your cord or cable right there. It's not gonna hold a ton of space. And then they just snap closed, boom. It comes with these little 3M stickies right here, which I don't know if it came, yeah, it came with enough stickies, but I got this pack of 6 of these cable holders right here for $1.52. And this is the type of stuff that Temu is really gonna excel with. I usually don't buy anything that I gotta leave plugged into a wall or something like that because I'm always worried about like fire hazards and everything. But this cheap stuff right here that for $1.52 and barely any shipping if you do a big order, you know, that's what these are pretty handy for. So I'll be using these to kind of work with some of my cable management on my desk, which I'm always fighting. Up next, we have a laser distance meter. Now, I had something similar to this before with a tape measure that I reviewed, but this one is one that I've been watching for a while, and every time I'm shopping Temu products for tech, I just keep wanting it. And finally, I caught it on a good sale, and it was like, now's the time to do it. So, comes with the actual monitor in your bag, or in the box here, and I'm actually surprised at how large it is. Comes with a carrying case with a little lanyard for the device itself and an instruction manual. I doubt there's any batteries in it. Yeah, so it's gonna take 2 AAA batteries maybe, so I can't turn it on really quick and show you. But as you can see right here, it has the start mode, which is just gonna turn it on and actually show you how far away something is, and it uses a laser to do that. It's got all types of functionality that without being able to turn it on, I can't really tell you what it's able to do right now. So through B-roll, as I'm talking right now, I'll show myself navigating through some of the menu settings that it has. But this is really handy so that if you need to know how far away something is very quickly, that's the point of this. So for instance, if you're gonna be running some fence in your backyard and you point it to how far you want it to go, it's gonna tell you roughly how many feet of lumber that you're gonna need to do something like that. If you want to set it on the ground and see how tall a ceiling is for some reason, then you would have the ability to do that. So it's just a really quick way to measure a decent amount of distance. And for this thing to come in at $12.90, that's pretty killer, because a lot of times these are pretty expensive, but just because of the LiDAR sensor alone. So this is a really neat device that I think is worth it and actually useful. Okay, so I don't know what this thing's problem is. It has a lot of menu functionality and everything, but for some reason it is really struggling to find the distance on things. Sometimes it would show accurately, like if I was 4 inches away from something or 14 inches away, but I don't know if I'm using it incorrectly or if I just need to read the instructions better. Even cheap devices on Temu should at least work. So I think it's going to be user error, but as of right now, I'm not able to figure it out, so I can't really recommend it. And actually useful. So definitely be wary whenever you're buying these distance measures that actually useful. They may be a little wonky for you. Useful. That's the theme of this video, is actually useful tech. So let's keep it rolling because we've got 3 more products to check out. Now this is something that I'm really excited to take a look at. And what it is, it's a 5-in-1 mobile phone lens set. So I've been getting more and more into mobile filming, especially since I got back from CES, because that is kind of the way the world's going, is being able to film things with your phone better. And obviously it's never gonna take the place of my studio cameras like this. However, I just thought this was a really cool thing to kind of throw in your bag and have ready. It's actually pretty decent little packaging setup right here. Oh, it has a hard-sided case. Wow, that's nice. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, so this is what you get on the inside. So what this is right here, this is a clip that goes on the outside of your phone over one of your cameras, usually your main camera. Right here are different lens types, depending on the type of filming that you want to do. So it's these tiny little lenses that I'll show, shots from for how they're different from each other. Like for instance, this big one is a fisheye lens, so you can kind of get that GoPro style shot. I believe, let's see, what else does it have in here? It's got this little one here that is a 2x zoom. This one is a macro lens, a 1.5 times macro lens, and that means that you have a really close focal point so you can get really close up to products. And I use macro lenses all the time in my studio so that I can show you like textures of products that I'm reviewing and things like that. And then what is this one? And then this one is just a CPL mobile phone lens that can help with lighting. And so it has like actual foam inserts and cutouts here. It comes with a little carabiner, which is super cheap and crappy. It has a lens wipe kit and then actual instructions on how to use all of these. I'm really interested to see the quality of this lens kit because it came in at $7.69. So it can't be good, right? Anything content creation related that is that cheap is just, you know, it's not gonna be very good, I would assume. But it was just so cheap and such a neat idea that I was like, I gotta at least check it out for this. So let's get this fisheye lens on there. And so then you just take this lens right here and you screw it in, and look at that. I mean, that's pretty neat. So it actually just kind of stays on like this, and then you just clamp it to your phone. Kind of gives like that old skateboard vibe versus if I take it off. Look at that, that's a big difference. That's pretty cool. Now we're gonna put on this macro lens. They're kind of hard to work with when you have really big hands. On the macro actually has a focus ring on it. Oh, I just touched the screen, so now I've got a giant fingerprint on it. Great. Here I'm gonna show you the macro, and then as I move my finger, oh my gosh. As I move my finger over it, it kind of changes to that lens, and look how close you can like see my fingerprints. Wow, that's actually really impressive. And so if I hold up this microfiber cloth, like look at that. And then if I were to take off the macro lens and just go with this lens, okay, maybe the macro lens is not that much better, but it's still just a really neat device that for $12, it's fun to at least play with. I thought it was really cool, and I'm excited to kind of play around with it a little more, and I'll try to get some better footage of actually using it to show what all the capabilities it has is, but let's keep this thing rolling. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna show you what the iPhone 15 Pro Max normal camera zoom is, or macro settings are. So there you can see it's actually pretty solid. You can see my thumb or my fingerprint there. You can see like the little individual Velcros. So if we put this on the camera and see if this macro lens clip-on helps at all. Let's see if it's any different. It's not really that much different. I mean, I notice a little bit of clarity differences just because I'm so used to using macro lenses, but not enough to really justify. I think it kind of goes to show how good some of these iPhone cameras can be. But for anyone who has a lesser phone that doesn't have macro capabilities like this, then it's actually, you know, pretty solid. Okay, so this next lens here is actually gonna be the 2x telephoto lens. So I'm gonna zoom in as far as I possibly can with the iPhone. That's at 15 times zoom. And then let's put on the cover. Not really noticing any differences here. Maybe I have it on the wrong lens. I always forget which one is the zoom lens on the iPhone. So this is what it looks like zoomed all the way in comparison. It could be that I have some smudges on it, or maybe I need to do some adjusting, but it's not very good. See if that's any better. Yeah, as you can see, it's not very good, right? I mean, it does zoom it in a little bit, but then the clarity, it loses a lot. And it's still pretty grainy already comparatively, but like maybe if you put it on normal zoom, this is what you get. Let's see how that looks on the normal camera. Maybe a little bit zoomed in, but then you have a lot of nasty looking vignetting. So yeah, gives you a little bit of zoom, but it's okay. I think this is gonna really excel for people who like maybe have really cheap phones that don't have good cameras. So that's, you know, for an iPhone user, probably not your best bet. All right, 2 more products. As I'm opening this one, be sure to take the time right now to go ahead and subscribe and join the Freaky Tech family. I love doing these videos for you, and the only way I can keep doing them is if the family keeps growing. Okay, so this next one right here is an LED spotlight. It can't be a Temu video with me without having some type of lighting. And so what this is, it has this, it comes with a metal plate right here, a remote, a USB-C cable, and then this actual spotlight right here that is actually adjustable with its angle. This came in at $7.66. This is the little sensor it has right here from the remote. Essentially why I got this, is this magnetic? Okay, so this is a sticky plate that's metal and it magnetizes to the back of the light. Essentially the point of this is so that like if I have a picture and I want to just like have this on the wall pointing down at the picture or at something specifically that I want lighting on, this can be a really good way to control that lighting with a small focused bulb like this. It's just a, you know, kind of an atmospheric effect that I think is pretty handy to have for such a cheap price. Now, again, leaving it plugged in, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll give this one a whirl and see if it's worth considering doing that more often. So last up, we've got the big box here, and what's inside of this was actually recommended by a friend of mine at Cozy Tech Reviews. Be sure to check out his channel and subscribe. We actually went to CES together. But he got these really cool speakers that are knockoff Edifier speakers. And he actually, I think they're even in his most recent Temu video. And when I heard the quality of these, I was stunned. I was really impressed with how good those speakers sounded, especially because they only cost $55. And you'll see why that's a good deal in a second. So inside the box here, you've got the audio cable. Looks like you've got your audio cables here. You've got your power cables with your audio connection between speakers, and then two AAA batteries, which I'm gonna assume go to a remote. I don't see a remote, so we will keep an eye out for it. Okay, now wait till you see how cool these speakers look. I'm really excited about these. Look at that. These are called Bestian, so look at that. It's a nice mirror design right here. But what's cool about these is these are actually infinity mirrors when you turn them on. And so I'll definitely show some footage of what they look like. On the speaker control right here, it's got what looks like a power button, as well as an adjustment knob that shows a power angle and input. So I'm assuming that's volume though. Now the only thing is, Cozy actually got a subwoofer with these. So his are gonna sound quite a bit better. On the back here though, you've got the actual speaker out, you've got bass and treble control, your optical cable input, you've got your line in right here, your power input, which is 21 volt, your ARC HDMI, and then a USB-A input right there. And on the other speaker, it just has the actual speaker in. So you've got one that actually controls all of the sound and the other one that just gives you the stereo effect. So, but honestly, these are really cool looking speakers, especially when they're on. I think they usually have a blue lighting to them. I totally missed it. I was like, what are the batteries for? They actually do come with quite a nice remote here that has all kinds of different play functions. It actually has a lighting button here, so I might be able to actually change the lighting. But we're gonna take a look at these really quick and see how they sound and how they look. But this is a really cool pickup that for 55 bucks, not only are they almost exact replicas and knockoffs of the Edifier speakers that you can find. I don't know the model number off the top of my head, but apparently they're extremely close in sound. So for $55, it's really hard to beat this deal. One thing I just realized as I plugged these speakers in, that when you turn up the volume, it shows you on the speakers as I'm twisting the dial right now what the level is. You can see the LED light going around the speaker. Just thought that was really cool. But that's it for part 6 of actually useful tech from Temu. I think this is a pretty good haul. I think it's my favorite yet, but I would love to know in the comments down below which product was your favorite and what other types of Temu hauls you'd like to see in the future. If you haven't already and you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate your time. I hope that you'll take the time to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you again in the next one. But thank you so much for stopping by today. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time. So real quick before you go, YouTube thinks that you might like this video or this video, so if you want to keep exploring the channel, then be sure to check those out. Have a good one.